Last day of the month.
Whoa.
On a Monday. I hope everybody's ready. September 30th, we're talking about, back another union strike. Gonna have a guest, Todd Caputo. We're gonna call him and see what he's up to on Monday morning. I mean, we'll make it feel like it's going to be random, not as random.
It's not as random, but it is kind of random because we just don't do it on a Monday. So you're going to be excited when it happens. You know what I mean?
We'll call it random. Yes, we will. Let's get some announcements out of the way. We have a webinar coming up this Friday. It's this Friday, right?
Oh, yeah.
At 2 p.m. New to the ASOTU ecosystem, Wikimotive. If you've been around the past events, you've seen them. But Zach Billings is going to be joining us along with Billy from TommyCar, I mean. Going to talk about aligning marketing and store processes. Big topic of conversation. These have been so much fun. We're so excited for you to get to meet our friends at Wikimotive. We know you're going to love them. So go to ASOTU.com.
Zach Billings is a smart cat. He's just telling you that.
Super smart.
I know that dude. You know,
super smart. By the way,
you're going to want to hang out with him.
I feel like it's one of those family reunion moments where you get to bring your worlds together.
Yeah,
like introduce your friends to your other friends. Yeah. So you can go to ASOTU.com. Just scroll down. You can register right there, and that way you can be there on the live stream with us. We'll have fun. Or you could get the recording when it's done as well. All right. I think we just need to get into some.
We got to get into this because it's a lot of good info this morning. You know?
Yes, definitely. All right. We're going to call. Should we just call Todd now?
Yeah. I mean, maybe call him.
Okay. Maybe call him. We'll call him now. Let's see if we can hear him. See if this works anymore. Hey, I love that sound when you hear it on a show.
It's so good.
Morning.
Todd, what's up?
He is
live on the show, right from the phone call. I feel like we're in radio business.
It's just amazing. Technology is just amazing, isn't it, guys?
It's Are you driving right now too?
Yes, I am.
That's even more impressive because it sounds like you're in a studio.
No, I went off the Bluetooth and I'm driving very carefully.
There you go.
Good. So you and I were texting back and forth a little bit this morning, talking about this perfect storm that could be happening. So we'll talk about the hurricane. I know a lot of people are dealing with some massive, significant aftermaths with that right now. Right now, you are in North Carolina because you live in Charlotte. But you have some insight. But also, before we talk about it, because a lot of us know the hurricane news, I'm going to talk about what's going on with the port workers, and then we'll get your feedback on this perfect storm that you see forming up.
Sure.
So basically, port workers from Maine to Texas are preparing for a major strike set to begin early tomorrow, potentially halting container traffic and disrupting all types of industries. With negotiations at a standstill on wage issues, the strike could cost the U.S. economy up to $5 billion per day. The International Longshoremen Association represents 45,000 workers across 36 ports. And this would be the first coast-wide strike since 1977. Before Kyle and I were born, Todd was around. Dig you on Monday morning. Impacting essential goods like food, automobiles, and automobile parts. Union leader Harold Daggett, known for his fiery rhetoric, has been vocal about the demands, warning, quote, "I'll cripple you."
I feel like he's got a friend that we know.
Sean Fayden. Retailers like Walmart and Costco have pre-imported goods to mitigate disruptions. And Steve Hughes, CEO of HCS International, who specializes in automotive sourcing and shipping, criticized the union for, quote, holding the entire country over a barrel.
Wow.
Some analysts like Todd Caputo worry that the strike, combined with the effects of Hurricane Helene, will create a perfect storm for the retail auto industry. That's why we have Todd on the show to give us your thoughts on this.
I was down in Charleston over the weekend and drove by the port, and I saw a bunch of BMWs, and I was thinking to myself, what are those BMWs don't move? They might just be stuck there.
Ooh,
and that's kind of what made me think of this, and I'm reading about this, but it's Mazda, Kia, Hyundai, BMW, Mercedes, again, there's pretty high day supply for already most of those dealers that have those kind of cars anyways, but that, kind of how long this goes, it may not actually be the case. But I think for parts, it could potentially be more of a problem. Nobody truly knows, but again, right, we've seen issues before, supply and demand with COVID and other things. This could be, could be a big deal. You might not see it in a week or two, but if this thing goes on for, 2-3 weeks, a month, there's a big election coming up that we all know about.
Heard about it.
It's great time. We all heard about that. So, it's a perfect time for a strike if you want to get what you want. So I think that, it potentially could definitely have an impact on our industry. And then combine that with, obviously, with this hurricane, and that's why I posted this morning, it potentially could be a perfect storm.
Well, you're talking about
Perfect storm.
talking about the inventory loss. I mean, we don't have Kyle, have you heard any numbers on inventory loss or potential?
No, not at all. Yeah. I mean, that's going to come out in a little
mean-
while. It's not going to be I don't sense that it's a ton. I haven't seen a lot of like chatter about it recently, unless Todd, maybe you
cars,
have.
just wait. Just wait. So if you look at videos from Florida and Georgia and North Carolina, where I am, especially Western, into Tennessee, Ohio, it's a lot of flooding everywhere. It's going to take weeks, if not months, for it all to settle out. And what I will tell you is, when things like this happen, I've seen this in the past, that the used car market's already tight anyways. It's just going to get tighter because of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of these rural areas, like I drive to these places, and a lot of people drive very inexpensive cars because that's all they can afford. Well, those cars they're going to be wiped out. They're going to be gone. So even very inexpensive used cars, $1,000 cars, $2,000 cars, those cars potentially could be worth a lot more too, because of the fact it's going to be a demand for them, because those cars they're going to need to get replaced. And people that are, unfortunately in a situation where they're in rural poverty cannot afford or get a loan on a late model used car, they're going to be forced to replace probably something similar to what they have, a 10-year-old car, 15-year-old car.
Yeah.
And a lot of times those cars don't hold their value. That might not be the case. So, and then, a lot of dealers, I've seen videos, right? A lot of dealers literally lost their entire inventory, flooded, like it's gone.
Wow.
You'll start to see it probably over the next few days, and in the coming weeks, that there's going to be inventory that's just gone, that's going to have to get replaced, new cars and used cars. And just consumers are going to need to replace the cars that got either completely totaled or just so damaged that they don't want to keep them. So from a wholesale perspective, if you're buying cars at the auction, you have to be very, very cautious of flood cars, because there's a lot of, unfortunately, bad actors in our business. There's a few, right? They'll try to pass off flood cars without disclosing it at the auction. So, we've seen this before. We're going to see it again, but it's could potentially, like I said, be a perfect storm.
Yeah, I think the big challenge with this one is it is so widespread. A lot of times you get like a centralized city, like when Houston flooded or when New Orleans or things like that flooded, where those cars are coming from. But this thing's widespread. It's across 4 or 5 states, where you're going to have those issues rising up. And, even just, transit. There's a bunch of transit that's going to struggle over the next week or so, in major lines going between these states right now, especially in that like northern Georgia and South Carolina areas that I've seen. I've got a couple of buddies that are going out there to help out. So yeah, definitely going to be strange. On the talks of the strike, we've seen recently 3 or 4 pending strikes kind of come to a head right before the strike or in the day one of the strike. So I think some of these, union leaders and even the organizations are starting to get wise on like, hey, look, we might as well just get this out of the way right now, as opposed to lingering into the strike. But my man Harold seems a little bit aggressive, so we'll see what happens there.
I'll cripple you is pretty strong. I mean, I don't think it's as strong as eat the rich, but it's probably much more possible for him to cripple us.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Well, Todd, thank you so much for joining us. Safe travels in North Carolina today, and we'll be in touch soon. Thanks as always.
Yep.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I don't know why. I love the call-in feature.
It's
on this
so great. We gotta do the call.
We gotta do it more because it's so much easier. Like he's in the car. You don't have to like have somebody in video and all. That's it. Note today, September 30th, Kyle and I hereby decree that we will be calling more people.
More call-ins
from now on forward in this show.
Like
oh, and hey, if you didn't know, we have a daily email. You can go to ASOTU.com. It's kind of like the anchor point for all of the content that we make. And we've been doing a daily digest of all the automotive news for you that you can really absorb in just a few minutes every morning. So, you should check that out. Here are a couple of stories. Like we cover stuff like this and, they go back and forth in the show. Usually the show we build independently, but today we wanted to share a few things from that digest. Number one, Hertz is cutting back on its EV fleet just 13 months after announcing a big acquisition of GM EVs, specifically the Chevy Silverado EVs. due to high depreciation and repair costs. Hertz Car Sales has now 35 Silverado EV 3WT models listed around 63.5.
Wow.
That's 11,000 off what the fleet pricing is for those same exact vehicles. So high price, fluctuating or high repair costs and maintenance costs, fluctuating demand is helping them recalibrate their fleet. So if you want an EV truck, these are like the work truck models. These are the ones. They have higher towing capacity and pretty good range. Should get one. I thought about it.
If I'm looking for an EV right now, first thing I'm doing is searching for a Hertz, Enterprise, anyone that has like a retail solution on the back end of their rental fleet, because they've all been just offloading them in the past 12 months. So, hey, you need a truck, jump on that thing. I don't know. Maybe there's a couple dealer retailers that could take advantage of these.
Are you kidding me?
Like your Hertz. I mean, yeah. Like
if you're a Ford dealer, a Chevy dealer, I mean, if your deal sell anything but Chevys, I mean, anything but these trucks, you need to get these trucks.
Yeah.
Right. If you're in the fleet business and you're not a Chevy dealer, like go buy them all.
Go buy them all.
You have a built-in fleet. Speaking of, I don't know. Speaking of EVs, I tried. You can't get them all right on Monday.
Here's the shocking news. Thieves are not getting electric vehicles as their primary mechanism of thievery.
EVs? No,
they're not stealing them. The National Insurance Crime Bureau
Where would they charge them? I'm just kidding.
That's exactly it. EVs are less likely to be stolen compared to gas-powered cars. Only 1 out of every 100,000 insured Tesla Model 3s was stolen last year. In contrast, gas cars like the Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat are hot targets. Over 2,500 thefts per 100,000 insured vehicles.
That's high.
It's a lot. I mean, that's a Hellcat.
That's true. It's
it's
going in a crate. It's going overseas. It's going to be in Fast and Furious.
Exactly.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Experts speculate that EVs' high-tech security systems like Tesla Sentry Mode and the fact that they're often parked for charging at home make them less appealing to thieves. Here's Chris Reeves' thought on both of the stories. He said, I think that the renting a car and stealing a car crowd are equally uninterested in hanging around at a charger for any amount of time.
That's hilarious.
Which is exactly it. Yeah, here's what this is. It's not just about like the hanging out and the time. I think about this. If you need to charge this thing and it's not at a home without Wi-Fi connected to the device, you are immediately connected to a data pipeline, and that car is going to get found. Like, you go pump gas, nobody knows about it.
I wonder, I mean, does every charge point know which car plugs into it? I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Because data has to go back and forth, and the car, probably serial number or whatever it is, the VIN. Oh, man.
Got him.
I see you. You people. That's amazing. And it'd be
really
super inconvenient if there's a chase involved. Right. Yeah. And I think a lot of people also, you think like the EV is like controllable, like somebody can toggle this thing off. I mean, I know we can do that with a lot of gas vehicles anyway.
Turn the fast one off.
Yeah. We're going super fast through LA right now. We got to turn that one down. Oh, man. So there you go. That should offset some of the insurance costs, don't you think?
There you go. Something like
no one's stealing that sucker.
It's not going.
No one's stealing that sucker. Look, no one's stealing the last day of the month. It's the very beginning of it. You get to decide what you're going to do with it. So go out there, sell some cars, care about some people, and we will see you here on October.